ladies and gentlemen, and being a producer of Wrestle Massacre as well as Inside Movies Galore, I am David Strege, and welcome to Delusions of Grandeur. Enjoy the reviews. I certainly did. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur. I'm David Strege, and here I have another review for you, this time of a film that I put some money into a little bit over probably a year and a half ago. And about almost half a year ago, it was supposedly sent out to its Kickstarter backers, and I didn't receive it. So for roughly about four or five, maybe 6 months, I was asking the director about it, and I'm assuming that he told his production company, Timeless Times, to send out a copy of the film, and it just didn't get to me. Or maybe it was sent out, I don't know. But I finally got it maybe a month ago, and I'm finally going on about it tonight. So I'm sorry I had to mention that, but in my reviewing process, I do have to mention the truth. And that's something that is a hiccup that when it comes to Kickstarter campaigns, is unfortunate, but it things of this nature do happen, and mixed signals happen, and sometimes a product doesn't get in someone's hands, and it didn't get to me for the longest time. So bear in mind that I was waiting a long time for my copy of this film. Title of the film is called Curse of the Witch's Doll, and here's what the film looks like. Now, on my copy, he described, "Dear David, thank you. Hope you enjoy the film." Signed, Lawrence Fowler, 2019. Now, this is a 2018 film, although, so with using the production company by the name of Up a Notch Productions, as well as working with High Octane Distribution. Now, from what I understand, High Octane is a popular company, but from what I hear on the IndieWire, and I'm not talking about IndieWire, the blog, or the the information site. I'm talking about through word of mouth. From what I hear, High Octane can be quite the thieves as far as stealing some of the rights from some of the directors. So I'm kind of surprised that Lawrence went with this company. Hopefully he didn't have too many hiccups with the company, because they haven't become a very well thought of distribution company because they've swindled so many independent filmmakers, from what I understand. And I don't want to say which filmmakers because I can't pinpoint which ones. I've just heard a lot of bad things about this so-called company. Well, the plot of this story, there is actually several underlying plots, but there's two main plots. There's one of the imagination and one of the reality of the situation. There is a mother and child figure in this story, which are played by actress Helen Creville, plays Adeline Gray, and she has a daughter by the name of Chloe Gray, played by Layla Watts, or so she thinks, which is what we are led to believe. I believe that the beginning of this film is set in the end of the wartime, and maybe World War II or something like that, because it seems like people have been bombed, or the country has been bombed, and this mother and this child are seeking out a place of refuge to hide, at least for the meantime, until the return of the father figure and husband figure that apparently has gone off to war. But there, the other storyline is that this all is just a delusion in Adeline's mind that she has concocted since the death of her daughter. So bear in mind that I have a little bit of spoiler alert ahead, and so you have that those two plots intertwining with another where evidently there have been patients that have been experiencing things happen in their life that go back to this witch, and so on and so forth. So this is a look into that curse of this witch, and obviously there is a future timeline too that is brought into the fray, which kind of makes you believe that this is a continual haunting of this curse of this witch, that if you get in its way, it's going to kill you. And it's not that it's creepy or horrifying, but there is a moment when the doctor is talking to a different patient, and she's describing this presence that's in this room, that evidently the doctor is evidently the next one on the list, that he's going to die. So there is that particular scene, which is my favorite of the film, which I believe sets the tone for the rest of the film. Now, I don't want to say everything, because I really do believe that there are two different sides of coins for several of the characters, and how that unravels is a little bit of a mystery, and that's why I think it makes it an odd film. But I think that because so much is going on, I think that confuses a lot of people as to what exactly is happening. But I personally enjoyed the film. I thought it was an odd mood, an odd setting, but I enjoyed the character of the mother, who seemed to be a private person just trying to protect her daughter, and yet on the other hand, if it weren't for the curse of the witch, you could almost totally believe in the fact that she might actually be crazy. And yet, there is something to the witch curse. So, in any case, hopefully, I would like to say that the character that played Arthur Harper, the doctor, also the homesteader, take care of Philip Ridout, played a double standard character, and for someone who looks like someone who could be my grandfather, he definitely turned out to be the budding of an evil man, because there's a point where he's arguing with his colleague, and that's the first time he's actually, in fact, been brought on to or inspired to enact an evil act, and how he begins to become that evil person, first by covering up, and then by the, in fact, act of what he did, which I will not mention because you will have to watch it for yourself. But there is a moment of realization of what he has done, at least in his mind, and I think that's what he was thinking about at that very end of that segment of the story. So, in any case, hopefully you enjoyed my description of this film. Like and subscribe to my page if you have not. Definitely check out my other reviews, check out some of my future reviews, and just go and see the film yourself. I did enjoy seeing my name in the back of the special thanks section. That was at least entertaining. I wouldn't mind seeing where he could take this movie. I don't get how some people could say that this movie or doll was similar to Annabelle. I also don't think that Annabelle itself was actually creepy to me. So, in any case, definitely seek the film out for your own enjoyment. Hopefully this was helpful to you, and I will enjoy describing films, more films to you in the future. I'm glad that I could finally get on about this film. I wish I could have almost half a year ago, but that was not to be. In any case, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening, and have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Appreciate the time spent on my page. Thank you so much.